everyone, and welcome to Reviews of Ryan. And today on the channel, I'm going to be talking about the brand new drama romance film called Mr. Malcolm's List. This film was directed by Emma Hawley-Jones, and she's done some short films, and she also did the short film for this as well, where it was about 11 minutes, and she did that back in 2019, and that had over 2 million views, and this is also based on a book as well, so this was transformed into a full-length film now here in 2022. But before I dive into my review on this, I'd like to ask, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, comment below your thoughts on this film, have you heard of this film, and also turn the notification bell so you never miss any review that I make and I post weekly. And now without further ado, let's jump into my thoughts on this brand new film. A young woman courts a mysterious, wealthy suitor in 19th century England. The film stars Freida Pinto, Sope Darasu, Oliver Jackson Cohen, Ashley Park, Zawe Ashton, Theo James, Sophie Vavasseur, Daniel Ryan, and many more. So I read the synopsis going into this film, and I did see a trailer clip before going to watch this film. I was the only person on a Sunday in the morning watching this film, nobody else in the theater. So I had the theater to myself, and I really did like going into this film that it is set in a time period piece. I really like films like that. I love to see films where it's back in the olden days and you really can compare to what we have now. And this was set back in the 19th century, year 1818 to be exact. So just going off that time period piece, I was just looking for a decent film, and I was thinking that this film was going to have a little bit of drama to it as well. But let's get into my positives about this film. I thought that the costume designs were pretty good for this film, especially for the budget in this film. I also did like seeing the old ways of how they're using candles and there's no electricity back in those days. And then just seeing like the old style of like the furniture and the clothing, and then also the wallpaper that they used back then, all the cool different designs that they used. I really like seeing that on screen. It looks really cool, and definitely you can compare to what we have today. So I did enjoy that as well. And then I also enjoyed our main character, Selena, in this. She had a personality of being really cordial, but at the same time, she did speak her mind, but she wasn't a pushover. And that's something that I really did enjoy, because you could really see that feminism that she has, but at the same time, she didn't just want somebody to just walk all over her in this film. I also like that the dialogue was pretty much straight to the point here. It wasn't very a confusing movie to follow. And then it also didn't involve a lot of characters, so there wasn't too many different movements of different pieces going on in this film. And then the cinematography in this, I think towards the end of the film, it really has some really good cinematography. I also do enjoy parts where they're outside and they showed like the fountain and the lakes they have. And then also there are parts towards the end of the film where they have this like field and green grass and mountainside. I thought that looked really particularly good. Most of this film takes place in a couple locations, and that's really about it. So you don't really have a lot of opportunities for cinematography, but when it's there, it looks pretty good, and I did enjoy those shots when we do get them. As far as negatives for this film, I thought that the parts, at least the romantic parts in this, they were a little cheesy. You do have to involve some movie magic in this. It is a PG movie, so it doesn't really have, too much to really kind of unravel here. There's not that much drama in this film. It's just pretty much bases on this person named Julia, where she wants to get with this guy, Mr. Malcolm, and he has all these requirements for a wife, and she doesn't meet those requirements, so she is embarrassed and her status is up in the air. So she wants to get back at him, so she hires this woman named Selena, and Selena basically goes out and basically tries to fall in love with him. And the plan is to basically have Selena get back at Mr. Malcolm and have this list that is overbearing to his, and then of course Julia would get her revenge. So Mr. Malcolm in general, he's kind of an ignorant kind of guy. He has a ridiculous list. Literally on his list is, one of the requirements was that a woman must know how to play piano. I thought that was really ridiculous. I thought at points he has a really ignorant character in this, so it is a little bit hard to root for him, but I think that he is a pretty good actor in this. I have seen him in another Netflix movie. I can't remember the name right now, but he did a pretty good job for what the script that he's given for in this. But yeah, there wasn't that much drama in this film. It's pretty much just based on trying to get back at this Mr. Malcolm, and he's in town. And you do know that Mr. Malcolm, he is rich by the fact that his aunt passed away, so he has her estate now. So because he has that estate, he's all rich, and then everybody's just in his business. There is a point in the movie where he takes a woman to the opera, and they make a huge big deal about it, but it really isn't that big of a deal. So there is that little bit of drama with the outside folks, but there really isn't that much. It really only is based on about 5 or 6 characters in this. And also with the 5 or 6 characters in this, at points in the film, there really isn't a lot for all of these characters to really do because it's such a simplistic plot in nature. And if you wanted to take your kids to go see this, I think they would probably be bored, but it is a PG movie. If you just wanted to take your kid to go check out this movie, there's nothing raunchy in this, nothing too crazy. There really isn't a lot of dramatic moments, but I honestly think they would be bored if they were watching this. This movie, it kind of reminds me of a kind of movie that you would probably see on maybe like the Hallmark Channel or ABC Family, something like that. It's an okay movie, but I can't really say that I would probably watch this movie again. You know, I enjoyed bits and pieces of this movie and bits and pieces of like the characters and then of course the fact that we're in this time period, but there isn't as much drama as I thought that this movie would have, and it's very simplistic, and that's why the score of this film for me is only going to be a 2.5 out of 5. It's an alright movie. Overall, I wouldn't be rushing to watch this movie again as it doesn't really have too much to really go on. And then of course the ending in general and just how they want to wrap this film up, it's really a lot on movie magic. I think you guys can pretty much see the predictability of this movie from a mile away. I definitely saw what was coming in this movie. So if I'm seeing that, I think a lot of other folks would see it as well. It's an alright movie. If you guys want to check it out, it is in theaters now. But if not, it will be on streaming very soon. So thank you guys for watching this review. And let me know down in the comments, or do you plan to see this movie? Is it something that you would like to see? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you guys on my next review.